Deployment and sustainability. This is a really, really important topic at the moment, I think, within the way we are operating in the industry and also in the world, full stop. Now, what I wanted to take you through was a few use cases, so a few scenarios, let's say, where the Axis could be deployed and what it would look like if the Axis wasn't deployed in that situation. So first of all, let's look at a traditional AV setup. You can see that you've got your sound desk as the core of the audio there and all the components that go with that, so the amp, the speakers, etc. And you've got your video switcher and you've got some laptops attached to that video switcher. You've got a vMix machine, you've got your switches, PTZ cameras or broadcast cameras, a return screen and two screens in the room, as well as your internet connection. Now, this is kind of how things were starting to look as we moved perhaps 12 months out of COVID, as people were refining workflows and as we were integrated into situations. So rather than actually causing displacement with any of control setup, this is how things looked. Now, with the MMG Axis, what we can actually do is this. Now, just to rewind one frame there, we can go from this setup with all of this stuff to this. And this is the Axis running, taking in the camera feed. That's on an SDI encoded to NDI, so it's available across the whole network for everyone. It's got an output to the main screen. Again, SDI to NDI decode, a return screen, same thing again. And it's also got audio coming in. Now that could be over an audio interface that's attached to the hardware, or it can be coming in over the 3.5 jack. This also shows you NDI Bridge, which is operating in the Axis, which actually enables you to connect remotely for productions as well. Now, this is a simplified setup. So this is very much on the ground, a very small setup. If we go just a little bit bigger, this is actually your kind of corporate 101, like a standard show, let's say, for a client, for a production client. What this is the Axis running all of the video side of things. So cameras, laptops, everything coming in, and also sending out signals to screen one and the return screen. It's also dealing with all of the streaming. And it's also dealing with all of the signal flow and conversion that's needed to do all of these things. And that does include the audio. Now, that can communicate to the sound desk, either sort of pumping in through the 3.5 jacks in and out, so send and return to the sound desk, or it can be done with Dante if you have the Dante virtual sound card on the Axis. You can see again, though, that this is way, way cleaner than the original workflow, which is sat at the top here. Not only that, but also it's way easier to build upon. If you've already got AV over IP and you're using that within your workflows, the scalability is that much easier. The reason it's easier is because we don't have to throw everything away and start again. We just reconfigure, or we add the component we want, drop it onto the network, make sure everything talks, and then sign it off. Now, within sustainability, I just wanted to go into a little bit more detail there because I wanted to explain why we think this product helps with sustainability. So traditional systems are energy intensive and they have excessive cabling and a lot of waste and inefficiency around that, not just to do with the production of, all of the cables and actually utilizing all of the energy resources. But the MMG Axis allows you to do that with a single cable, with a Cat5, Cat6, Cat7, network cable. And it means that you can do that across the board with everything. It reduces the number of devices. So you don't need all the sort of single-use small devices for an in and an out. Everything is combined into one space, one unit. And it's got low power consumption, less transport costs because the unit itself only weighs 12.5 kg. And that in itself reduces carbon emissions and it reduces the need to transport everything. And if we really, really dig into our vision of the future, it changes the way that crews would be deployed in venues as well. What I mean by that is that because of the bridge functionality here, you could technically send a technician and an Axis with, your couple of cameras, microphones to a venue, and then connect the bridge to a studio space and actually produce that show remotely. That show finishes, everything gets packed up, not tons and tons of equipment, just the small amount that we need plus the Axis goes back for transport to the next venue tomorrow. Different show, everything gets fired up again. Nothing changes back at the studio or the warehouse. They just connect to a different IP, and the bridge is done in the same way. Now, the Axis itself is also designed to be future-proof through software upgrades, and the lifespan of the equipment actually reduces the environmental cost. Remember, this has got many different uses within workflows. So signal conversion, yes, but obviously the software that you mount on it as well, it just enables you to do a lot of different things with it. So just to close on the idea here and what we're trying to convey, the Axis itself enables you to have simplified setups and the option to scale them very effectively. And our view as a company is that we should be doing things about sustainability. We should be doing things to help and to change the way that processes are streamlined. If you want to find out more about this or other use cases or more to do with the product, just head to the website mmgaxis.io, or reach out, get in touch. You can email us, that's sales@mmgaxis.io.